in fact, the original organisers are in this city with other people. David Hughes is president and would normally chair events like this, but he's actually speaking on behalf of Save Our Services, so you've got to put up with me, I'm afraid. And as I say, the Trades Council has really supported this event and other events of the People's Charter because we feel very, very strongly about the issue of saving the public services. And in fact I'll plug our May Day event, which is on the 1st of May, Saturday, in the Unite headquarters on Broad Street. The leaflets are on the side, and that is also the theme of our May Day event, which is to save the public sector. So the speakers have been announced. We have your man, I'll tell you his name in a minute. Jack Droney will not be attending, he's got another meeting. The first speaker is David Hughes from Save Our Services, and he's also a very active member in Unison and president of Birmingham Trade Union Council.
Okay, when I was thinking about what I might say tonight, I was thinking it's probably 13 years since we faced the prospect of having a Tory government. And so I started reading a bit back about previous election campaigns, and I came across a quote from the election campaign in 1983 by an MP then called Neil Kinnock. Now, I'm not quoting him because I'm a particularly big fan of Neil Kinnock, although I must admit, he was, when I was a youngster, he was the first ever real MP I met, so he quite impressed me then. He was a bit of a radical firebrand. But he was talking about what it was like with the prospect of a Tory victory, and his speech went a bit like this. A quote from the speech, he says, "I warn you that you will have pain when healing and relief depend upon payment. I warn you that you will have ignorance when talents are unattended and wits are wasted, when learning is a privilege and not a right. I warn you that you will have poverty when pensions slip and benefits are written away by a government that won't pay and an economy that can't pay. I warn you that you will be cold when fuel charges are used as a tax system that the rich don't notice and the poor can't afford." And he concluded his speech with this final place. He says, "If Margaret Thatcher wins on Thursday, I warn you not to be ordinary. I warn you not to be young. I warn you not to fall ill. I warn you not to get old." And that was his chilling warning. Now, we don't need a crystal ball or his powers of foresight to know what a Tory government would look like, because we have here in Birmingham a Tory Lib Dem coalition that shows you exactly what a Tory government would look like. They are in this budget year about to make £69 million worth of cuts. And if we start off with warning not to be ordinary, what those cuts mean to the ordinary workers of the council is that up to 2,000 jobs will go in this financial year alone, and a further 5,000 jobs over the next 3 years. That's 7,000 jobs. That's a quarter of the workforce that doesn't work in schools or in the teaching environment. So they're planning over the next 3 to 4 years to get rid of a quarter of the workforce. And that's in a city that is already reeling from job losses, such you'll see in places like LDV, the threats at Jaguar, the threats at Cadbury's. And I don't actually think there's any benefit in sharing pain. I don't think if I'm signing on Monday morning and I'm signing up next to somebody who used to work at LDV vans, that he's going to feel any better for the fact that I'm also signing on. In fact, the reverse is actually true. That for ordinary people in this room, right, that if secure jobs that carry a pension, carry a reasonable wage, go, that blights the opportunities for everyone in this room to get a job, for their children to get a job. Those jobs will be lost and gone forever. The budget cuts are not just about the impact on staff, the impact on services. And if you work for the council, you can already see how they deal more harshly with the citizens of Birmingham. I noticed an article in the Birmingham Post yesterday, which was talking about the way that Birmingham deals with homeless people. And it commented on the fact that a couple of months ago, a High Court judge criticised Birmingham for the way it dealt with homeless people, and criticised the fact that they were using mounds of complex and unnecessary paperwork, or telling applicants to make themselves to housing associations or charities to avoid their legal responsibilities. And he drew attention that both practices were illegal under housing law. But literally within days of that judgment coming down, a council official, no doubt with blessings from the councillor, sent an email round to all the council staff who deal with homeless families saying, with immediate effect, all single homeless people who are presenting as homeless or rooflessness and domestic violence victims requiring refuge must be referred to the appropriate funding support service. We should not be completing homeless applications. So within days of a judge saying that what Birmingham was doing illegal, a council official was reinstating to the people that do this job with the council that your job is not to give them their legal right to have a homeless decision made on their case, but to refer them off to another organisation who didn't carry that legal responsibility. Kinnock talked about, I want you not to be young. Right, the biggest chunk of the job cuts in Birmingham is going to fall on the Children, Young Persons and Families Directorate of the City Council, with 1,300 possible redundancies in that directorate.